Hey guys, it's Christy Blake. I just wanted to make a quick video in response, not in response, but just to elaborate more on my last video about the endocrinologist that I saw. And there's been a couple videos out there. Well, actually, I don't know if Pete made a video, but I know that TJ from Fat King's TV made a video. And this actually isn't in response to that. It's just that after I saw the doctor, I got some pamphlets and other things and was reading. So again, I'd love to know if you have conflicting information. There's a lot of information out there, but I just wanted to go into a couple more reasons why my doctor was saying what he was saying, and I've actually discovered a few things that I think will be interesting to the ladies out there or men that are losing hair, and a couple other things about muscle, fat, and building muscle, and working out too much and too little, and all of that, and losing lean muscle. Sorry, this video is strange. That's the best I can do for now. Okay, so what can happen in the beginning? You know, I actually waited a while before I worked out. I was walking, but not very much, and that might be also a contribution to my losing so much lean. I'll just hold it. Sorry, it's weird. I lost so much lean body mass, 14 pounds of muscle this last time. Now, to go back, I saw my endocrinologist in the beginning, I think a week after, sorry, it was a couple weeks before surgery, and then I just saw him 4 months after surgery, and then I won't see him again for another 6 months, and then 6 months after that. So that's kind of how often I'm seeing him. So I want to talk about what can happen if you don't exercise at all. You may lose too much lean body mass, develop excessive hair loss, dry skin, easy bruising, broken fingernails, reduce resistance to infection, increase risk of blood clots, and less overall weight loss, and also increase risk of regaining fat. And the persistence of some cardiac disease, so that's extreme. But if you're not going to work out in this journey, then I wouldn't have surgery. Just continue on. Now, I'm not a doctor, so there may be reasons you can't work out, but it's not about working out, it's just about moving your body. So if you're in a wheelchair, I mean, he was like, okay, do these and do your legs and just be moving your body for as long as you can. Another question was, what's the best exercise? And there really isn't a best exercise per se, but walking definitely in the beginning is kind of the best. And then even now he's saying walking for 30 minutes or even up to an hour is going to give you the best fat burning results. And I'll talk about the weightlifting in a minute. So I just wanted to elaborate on a few of these. So, is there some level of exercise that is too much? And this is what I was talking about in the video. Yes, strenuous exercise on a low-calorie diet and losing weight may lead to excessive loss of lean body mass. And this is why sugar, specifically glucose, is required for intense exercise. And we don't have a direct source of sugar, carbs. So what happens is you have to break down your you have to break down your protein, which is muscle, skin, and liver, to make glucose for these high energy requirements. In many ways, too much exercise can be worse for you than too little. So I hope that makes sense. It's a lot about glucose, and that's what our body needs for intense exercise. And that's why basically my body was, been working out too hard, and I'll talk about the aerobic in a minute too. So, and the reason how you'll know you're exercising too much is if you're out of breath, sweating a lot, your muscles feel weak and rubbery after when you stop the exercise, or if you're sore the next day, then you know you've done too much. These are signs that you've exceeded something called anaerobic threshold. And so this is where my doctor was talking about not having your heart rate go above 100. That's really hard for me. Even just doing the pre-core this week, I was at like 111. I was trying to stay closer under that to that. And this is something that might be different for everybody. Again, I'm not so sure about what the anaerobic level is. If that's 100 for everybody, or maybe if you're more in shape, it's a little higher. So this is when you cannot supply enough oxygen, energy, either fat or sugar, and blood supply to prevent the overproduction of metabolic byproducts that are toxic and damage muscle and its ability to contract. Did that make sense to you? It didn't make so much sense to me. So basically, this is when you cannot supply enough oxygen, energy, either as fat or sugar, and blood supply. So you don't want to be anaerobic. Look that up. Okay. So the other thing is, if you want to do more than walk, how do I know what's the right amount of exercise? So this is interesting. This is about building muscle, what I was talking about before. Moderate activity in both intensity, duration will not place high demands on muscle and allows free fatty acids from the breakdown of fat to be used as your primary energy source. That's what we want, thus sparing your protein. So we don't want our protein to be burned. We want our fat to be burned. And so moderate activity is what they're recommending. And, you guys may all know this. And I kind of did too, but I didn't pay attention so much. And that's where I got in trouble, working out too hard, thinking, just going back to old habits of, you want to lose weight, work out hard and eat less. But as a bariatric surgery patient, we have to keep in mind these things, and this is where you get in trouble, where you need to pay attention to the information that's out there for us, and not, TJ said about trainers and nutritionists and all them, that some of them may not be aware of your needs as a surgery patient, bariatric surgery patient. So that's where you need to do your own research and figure out what is right for you. So keep in mind that it will be difficult, although not impossible, to build muscle. So very difficult to build muscle while you're losing weight, and that's why he said the body pump classes are just too much. It's not something you're supposed to be doing right now. We're supposed to be losing weight. And first we need to focus on keeping what we have. So that is the main goal here, is keeping the muscle, the lean body muscle that you have. And whatever activity that you have in mind, keep the weights or resistance low in the beginning and the amount of continuous time in the activity at a minimum. You should feel good after you've completed the walk, sets, lifts. Then gradually increase, or ride if you're bike riding, then gradually increase the amount of time spent, for example, on a stair climber from 4 minutes to 6 minutes, allowing 15 minutes of rest before repeating. That's not what my doctor was saying, but he's written it here. So I'm super sore from yesterday. See, I shouldn't be sore from my class yesterday, and I totally am. Go to 2 repetitions per day, or 3 or 4. Perform the exercise in the morning and again in the afternoon. For weights, go from 1 pound to 2, but don't exceed 5 pounds for the upper body or 10 pounds for lower body. Keep up with your fluids. That last part, take it or leave it, about all that. I have some conflicting information there. I didn't know about the allowing 10 to 15 minutes of rest. So I don't know, that's something that maybe you have some other information somewhere of how to work out, if you should be, doing some working out. Maybe it's too moderate and your heart rate gets too high, and then maybe stop for 15 minutes and then go do it again. So my plan is to kind of stay around the 100. a heart rate at 100 and do it for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then go lift weights after for 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and just one set, and you go till your muscles are tired, and then you stop and move on to the next muscle group. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. But just keep in mind, and TJ was saying that it's really hard to build muscle right now, so don't be trying to lift a bunch of weights. And let's see, here's some other information. I'm making a video. I'll be out in a minute. Okay. So how often should you exercise? And I talked about this again. Walking could be done every day, and extra exercises should be repeated within 48 hours. So like when you're doing your lifting weights, don't skip a day. That's what I already said that, but here's why. If exercise is stopped for more than 48 hours, your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, falls back to previous levels. So important to not skip 2 days. The amount of time spent in an activity performed at several intervals over a 24-hour period or previous has the same metabolic effect as that performed over a longer time at one interval. That doesn't make sense. Okay, for example, 4 15-minute sessions are equivalent to one 60-minute session. And the 15-minute sessions are less likely to induce a lot of loss of muscle mass. So that's interesting. Okay, one last thing. Hold on with me. You might have to watch this video a couple times to get it all. Total starvation results in large loss of nitrogen, lean body mass protein. So I think as a bariatric surgeries patient, just as someone that's trying to lose weight, I think we're very afraid to actually increase our calorie. Like if you are tracking your calories, like we all should be, I am like freaked out to eat 1,000 calories. So I don't know if you're out there too, but that is actually contributing. So if you're 5, 6, 8 months out, you definitely should be in that 900, 1,000 range, according to my nutritionist. I don't know what yours is saying, but don't be afraid to eat more. It will actually help you lose weight, and it'll actually help you keep your lean body mass. And I discovered that it'll actually might help with the hair loss, and your protein as well. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But if you're not having enough protein and you're not eating enough calories, you're probably losing your hair. I am losing my hair, and I just discovered that I was taking the wrong calcium. Now, I don't know if that has to do with it, but I've been taking, for some reason, someone told me, this is me not doing my research, but I just misunderstood somewhere. Someone said, go ahead and take the Costco calcium chews. So I got those. People were doing the chews, and then I went to the doctor, for my 4-month checkup, and said, I hate the chews. I'm going to get these calcium chewables. Brought them home, realized that it was calcium citrate, whatever. And I was like, this is different than my chews, and went and looked on the bag for the Costco, and it's the carbonate. And I was totally taking the wrong calcium. You're supposed to have citrate. So what an idiot I am that I've been taking the wrong calcium for 4 months. And I don't know if that has to do with my hair loss too. So I'm not sure if calcium is related to that, but, not doing your vitamins is definitely probably all a contributing factor. I've been really good with my protein. I've had between 65 and 85 grams every day for the last 4 months. So I know that could result in hair loss as well. But I think it also has to do with calories. My nutritionist was looking at my log, and she did notice there were a few days that I was in the 700, and she's like, you got to get those calories back up there. And that could definitely be part of the hair loss as well, is just not have enough calories. So we'll see if the calcium and all of this helps. But just don't be afraid to eat what you should be eating. If you're a newbie, I know that you can't eat more than 500-600 or whatever you're at. But just make sure you're working up on track. And hi, just 5 more minutes, okay? Okay, give me a kiss. I love you.
Can I watch a movie?
Oh no, how about tomorrow, okay?
I want a movie.
I know. Okay, I love you.
I want to watch a movie.
I know. Tomorrow we'll watch one, okay? Okay, love you. Okay, so, okay. Oh, Daddy's got one. Go. Okay, sorry.
Just watch it quick, okay?
Okay, so, sorry, it's getting long here. So the last thing I have to say is, let me just read this again. How does my diet affect the results from my exercises is the question. The answer is total starvation results in large loss of nitrogen or lean body mass protein. Carbohydrates convert into sugar, reduce the amount of nitrogen loss by reducing the production of sugar from amino acids, a process that's called, I can't say it, gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis. I don't even know. It's a really long word. Where sugar, gluconeogenesis is how it's spelled. Where sugar is produced from the building blocks of protein, amino acids, sugar cannot be made from fat. Even taking some sugar or carbohydrate in still results in loss of protein because of the loss of amino acids. This can only be attained from food. Adding high-quality protein contains essential amino acids, further reducing obligatory loss of nitrogen by replacing the essential amino acids. I know that's super complicated, and I'm not a scientist. I'm not an endocrinologist. But basically, by starving yourself or not having enough calories, you're messing up your amino acids and your ability to burn fat. So you may be losing weight, but you're probably losing muscle is what that comes down to. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, increasing the availability of dietary amino acids from protein for conversion to sugar, that word, gluconeogenesis, reduces the breakdown of lean body mass, muscle protein. So therefore, this is in bold, you must eat an adequate amount of protein or you will lose your muscle mass. Regardless of anything else that you do, the best formula is 0.3 times your body weight is how many grams of protein you should have per day. If you're 300 pounds, about 90 grams. If you're 200 pounds, about 60 grams. I'm 201. And my doctor still said to have between 65 and 85 a day. So, because I've lost so much muscle mass. Oh, I thought I was done. Okay, so the other thing is just that the L-carnitine, which I talked about a little bit, but it's supposed to enhance the use of fat for energy needs and reducing the requirements for carbohydrates. So, because we don't eat a lot of carbs and sugar, then the L-carnitine is supposed to help that. Adequate high-quality protein is still required, as well as moderate exercise to obtain the best fat-burning results. So it just basically helps further reduce the loss of protein on a low-calorie diet. So just remember, that's all I have for this. If you have questions or anything, let me know. But I just wanted to kind of explain a little bit more about why my doctor was saying what he was saying and what that all means. I know it's complicated, but just make sure you're having enough calories, that you're working out moderately, and not going all crazy, and that you are getting the information for where you're at in your journey. And that's all I have to say. Sorry for the lot of reading and the interruption of my son going to bed. All right, talk to you later. See ya. Bye.